It is easy to hold what is still stable. It is easy to mould what is not yet formed. It is easy to shatter what is still fragile. It is easy to scatter what is yet light and small. Therefore, act now rather than wait. Get things done before it's too late. A huge tree that you can't get your arms around grows from a tiny seedling birth. A tower of 9 stories high rises from a small heap of earth. 1,000-mile journey begins with one step. This is an ancient tale. Those who procrastinate or act prematurely fail. Those who interfere in processes disrupt them. Those who hold tightly to possessions lose everything. Wise people succeed because they never force an outcome. They never suffer a loss because they are not attached to anything. Some succeed in gathering assets, but when the stakes begin to sail and greed crashes through all cautionary boundaries, failures unmercifully prevail. Wise people don't accumulate possessions or teach anyone to amass things. They devote themselves to the natural rhythms that the great integrity brings. In ancient times, before there were those who were governed, and those who governed over, the sage blended with others, and all was done through the primal simplicity. People lived in innocence. When the great fragmentation replaced the great integrity, cleverness defeated wisdom. Even some enlightened sages became victims of the rulers commanding the highest intrigue. Why do all the hundreds of great rivers flow naturally to the sea? Because the sea is always lower than the rivers. When are thousands of people attracted to a sage? When she positions herself below them, always listening, tirelessly responding to their needs, never commanding, never coercing, never manipulating. Such a sage is forever adored. Since she treats everyone with love and respect, everyone loves and respects her. When most people hear about the great integrity, they say it is useless folly. Because it is not like anything in the world we know, they also find it inconceivable. On the contrary, the great integrity has given us three treasures to cherish. The first is love, the second is moderation, the third is humility. If you love, you will be fearless. If you are moderate, you might always sense abundance in life. If you live in humility, you will be widely trusted. But you will not have the capacity to love if you are fearful. Even worse, if you are fearless and without love, you will always be courting disaster. If you live in insufficiency, you have no opportunity to be moderate. If you live in overabundance, you will not only live immoderately, but are always courting disaster. If no one trusts you, then compensatory ego will preclude humility. If everyone trusts you and you lack humility, you will always court disaster. The 3 treasures are practical guides to the great integrity. The greatest foolishness is to live without them. The best soldier fights without vengeance, without anger, and without hate. He puts himself humbly below his comrades, thereby eliciting the highest loyalty from them. This is the power of non-belligerence and cooperation. It is the ancient path to the great integrity. There is a saying among those wise in military affairs. We do not act as host, taking the initiative, but would rather be the guest, assuming the defensive posture. Rather than advancing 1 inch, we prefer to retreat 1 foot. This is called advancing without moving, rolling up one's sleeves without baring one's arms, fighting without weapons, capturing the enemy without attacking. There is no greater disaster than boasting of one's invincibility. Such boasts lead to the loss of the free treasures. Therefore, when 2 opposing sides meet in battle, the one without an enemy will be victorious. The great integrity is easy to understand and easy to practice. Yet it is not understood, nor is it practiced. It is not understood because people's heads are filled with 10,000 trivia and rationalizations, leaving no space for anything else. It is not practiced because people are busy and bored with the 10,000 corruptions and miseries that leave no time for the free treasures. The great integrity is so ancient, as old as the universe itself. How can we expect people to remember it after so many millennia of repression? That is why sages dress in rags, while they wear the free treasures deep inside their hearts. Academia confuses knowledge with knowing. Most everyone applauds the memorization of the 10,000 trivia. Beware, these schooled addictions are not just myths. They are a form of mental illness. Any fragment of the mind divorced from heart, spirit, human community, and from the primal reality of the universe is an abomination of the great integrity. Let us prepare for the great integrity by cleansing ourselves of all cobwebs of cluttered fragments that paralyze the mind. In this way, we will function as our own holistic physicians. When people no longer fear the power of governments, a far greater empowerment appears, the great integrity, which never needs to enforce itself. Then we will never again be driven from our homes or be compelled to labor for the benefits of others. We will all work naturally to fulfill ourselves and to meet our community needs. In the great integrity, we will all love ourselves and all others, not as compensations for ego deprivations and defilements, but as natural expressions of our humanity.